Our front door is a place where the majority of our shoes are located, and since we've moved to our new house, they've been out of control. To address the bulk of the shoes, I first cleared them out of the space, then brought in this foldable bookshelf I found on Facebook Marketplace. I was able to fit at least 9 pairs of adult-sized tennis shoes. Now we're using the vertical space of our entryway, decluttered the floor, and the shoes are nice and organized. On the other side of our entryway, we have a small bench with lots of room underneath. I grabbed two 28-inch adjustable tension rods from Walmart for a total of about $5. I adjusted them to the width between the two legs of the bench and placed one on the bottom front and one on the bottom back a few inches from the floor. Now our extra shoes have a place in our entryway. Another place shoes tend to collect in our house is our back door. To solve this issue, I first laid down a cute rug, then placed my kids' tall winter boots. Then I placed a wooden crate I already had on hand on top. Next, I placed a metal cabinet organizer that I thrifted on top of the crate and was able to place 2 smaller pairs of shoes underneath and 2 additional pairs on top.
Grab some inexpensive tension rods and discover ways to organize your home. Do you have a jumble of shoes on the floor of your closet? Tension rods can help. To use tension rods, simply twist the end of the rod to release the spring and continue to twist until you get the width that you want. Easy. Take 2 tension rods and install them horizontally in your closet area designated for shoes. All you do is twist until the rod is securely taut against the wall. The front rod should be placed about a ½ inch lower than the back rod. This will give your shoes a slight angle forward without them falling off. Add your shoes and enjoy a well-organized shoe rack in your closet. You can organize boots as well. This time, place the tension rods vertically to keep boots upright and organized. Your boots can't help but stand at attention. Is the space under your kitchen sink a jumble of cleaning bottles? Clear out the space and install one larger sized tension rod horizontally and in front of any sink pipes. Be sure to allow enough space above the rod so spray bottles can be added and removed easily. Hang all of your cleaning spray bottles from the rod. You'll be amazed at how much added space you now have. In any kitchen cupboard, install a series of 2 tension rods vertically and back to back to create the perfect system for storing baking sheets and muffin pans. I hope this inspired you to organize your home using inexpensive tension rods.
I've got this area in the closet that needs to be taken care of. Let's start with a curtain rod. This is going to be our main item besides some wood that we also need to get. So I'm going to start with the 6-foot piece, 1x6. I'm going to use this and split it right in half. So if it's 6 foot long, let's cut it off at the 3-foot mark. When I do that, I also want to make and use my square to get a nice perfect straight line across the board. That'll give me a good reference for when I cut it. Now, I like to use my miter saw. You can use a jigsaw or a skill saw. Either way will work as long as you get a good cut. Let me teach you a secret about sanding. Take a pencil and without making too hard of a mark, put squiggly lines all across your board. That is going to let you know that you've sanded the board enough in order to stain it. The wood that comes right from a hardware store can't usually just be stained right away. In this example right here, you're going to notice after we clear the sawdust that we got it sanded just enough so it'll accept some stain. Now I do need some blocks on this board and we're going to cut 4 of these. I'll show you where they go later once we get them cut. But it gives us some space when we put the curtain rod on the board. Once we get these cut, it is time to stain our wood. Now, I'm going with like a little bit of a cherry stain here. The only regret I have when I was staining this was not using a pre-stain. So you can see some dark spots on the board. Wish I did use some pre-stain, but I think it's still going to turn out really nice. Once we get it stained, it's back to those 4 blocks that we cut earlier. I'm going to use one as a spacer to set this in place. I don't want to put it all the way against the wood. It gives it a little bit nicer look. I'm just going to use 3 little brad nails, make sure I don't go through the boards to hold it in place. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, using one of the blocks as a spacer to mark it. It doesn't take much to hold it, just 3 little brad nails. Once I get that there, what we're going to do is at the bottom of the board, we're going to measure and mark and pre-drill for the curtain rod holder. Now, I'm going to give you a little example of how to put these in place and make it easy. When you're putting the first screw in, never put it all the way through. Go ahead and put it halfway so that your bracket is not too hard to move around if you need to. The second screw, put it all the way down, and then go back to the first one and put it down. Now, we can set the curtain rod in there, and it's time to mark and measure it. I'm going to use a metal saw blade. Now, go light and easy on this. Don't go back and forth. Just make a little mark, a couple times back and forth before you go. Cut it off. Now, it's going to be a little rough, but don't worry about that. These curtain rods come with little caps you put on the end. We're going to put our final pre-drill in to go ahead and put it on the wall. As you can see, I've got 2 of these boards, and I'm using a level to make sure they're straight. Once I got them installed, put the curtain rods in and start inserting the shoes. It's going to save a lot of space on the floor, and it looks great right in the back. You can make these as big and as long as you want. I hope this inspired you to build your own DIY shoe rack.
Confession time. I used to have a mini avalanche of shoes in our entryway coat closet. Whenever a guest would come over, I'd quickly offer to take their coat for them so they wouldn't open the door and see the pile. That's when I stumbled upon this genius shoe storage idea using simple recycled boxes. So if you're tired of the chaos and want something functional and nice to look at, let me show you how to make these DIY stackable shoe compartments out of shoe boxes. Before you build anything, decide on a color scheme. Cover the boxes with matching contact paper, paint, or even wrapping paper for a polished look. Neutrals like linen and beige or bold patterns like faux marble can make the whole setup look high-end. I found the super affordable fabric in a timeless black and white pinstripe pattern, and that's what I'm going to use. Once you've wrapped everything in your fabric or paper, you'll take one shoebox lid and place it on a flat surface, inner side facing up. Then take the matching box, flip it on its side, and slide it into the lid so it's standing tall like a cubby. Repeat this for each box and lid set. You can use hot glue or double-sided mounting tape to secure the box to the lid, especially on the sides and bottom. I used hot glue. For extra stability, you can even cut a piece of scrap cardboard to fit inside the lid underneath the box before gluing. This reinforces the base. Use the largest or sturdiest boxes as your bottom layer. Stack 2 to 3 boxes high. Going taller than 3 can make the whole thing tip unless you anchor it. If your boxes don't feel secure, you can use heavy-duty glue between the layers to secure them in place. You could also add a weighted base. You can even place the unit against the wall or use removable wall anchors or command strips for extra stability if you have kids or pets. This easy, budget-friendly DIY transformed my messy coat closet into something I'm actually proud to show off. You just need some old boxes, a little creativity, and a few glue sticks. The best part? It's totally customizable to your space, your style, and your needs.